Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second episode of the Game Dialogues brought to you by the Global Growth Acceleration Division of MDEC. If this is the first time you're tuning in, allow me to furnish you with a little background of this initiative. On a monthly basis, we will be featuring prolific homegrown tech entrepreneurs to speak on a myriad of topics ranging from innovation, funding, storytelling, sharing of best practices, and navigating challenges, just like the very topic we have today, business in the post-COVID-19 world. Now, as the nation gradually returns to normalcy, we are keen to understand how businesses are going to operate in the new normal. What are some of the strategies that they have in place, and how are our entrepreneurs tweaking their operations to keep their businesses in motion during this transitionary period? We have with us three incredible personalities, each with a remarkable set of achievements. And to have the pleasure of introducing our panelists for the day, allow me to invite the Vice President of MDEC's Global Growth Acceleration Division, the charismatic Gopi Ganesalingam, to chair and moderate our session for the day. All yours, Gopi.
Thank you, Hari. What an amazing welcome. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see all of you again. We've got quite a big number out there, so thank you very much for participating in our webinar. It's all about entrepreneurship. It's about being resilient. It's about post-MCO. It's about starting our business again. But before I go on with our panelists and what we want to discuss, allow me a couple of minutes to share with you some of the things that we have done here at MDEC during this MCO period. The MCO period came down hard on everyone, not just all of you, but even on us, with us at MDEC. We didn't expect a total shutdown, but we were always ready for it because MDEC operates a BCP, a business continuity plan, no matter what. So we've always had a business continuity plan in place just in case there was an emergency. So we kick-started the BCP in February 2020 when we saw the COVID situation coming through in the region, and we kick-started the BCP plan. So when MCO was announced on March 17th, and they said 18th is MCO, on March 17th itself, all of MDEC went on from offline to online. So all our meetings went from face-to-face to video calls, and including the senior leadership team, the board, the town halls, everything went on to online. Come the first day of MCO on Wednesday, March 18th. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. By Friday, we were having so many numerous companies coming to us, mostly wanting to help us out. And so we went on with the help. We started off our first online initiative, the digital versus COVID. We had tremendous support. We had people wanting to give us donations for the frontliners. We have collected more than 400,000 ringgit up to today, and it's going to the frontliners. And MDEC has rolled out a lot of our offline to online programs. I think we did more than 44 initiatives that went online. Initiatives that included e-commerce, initiatives that included mentorship, initiatives that included talent, reskilling, upskilling, initiatives that included funding, initiatives that included market access. Here in Global Growth alone, we did almost 30 over initiatives that went to online. We did 9 market access initiatives that are now ongoing. We did a lot of amplifications of the tremendous amount of work that all the companies have done. We've got 5 funding initiatives that we have done. Funding initiatives include matching 200 over companies to VCs online, matching companies that are requesting for ECF funding, matching companies that are requesting for P2P, matching companies that are requesting for debt funding. So we are working with MDV. We've got the largest funnel coming in from our companies here in MDEC into MDV. So we've done so much. So now we're going back to a hybrid model, hopefully, where the post-MCO is about business restarting. So here is where we see who's resilient, who's not. And as we did in MDEC, I think the change starts with us. The change starts with the man in the mirror. The change starts with us. And we've somehow managed to handle our position and take some of the things forward. So without further ado, I would like to now call upon the panelists to share their entrepreneurial experience, their difficulties, uh, how they are restarting, what did they go through. So without further ado, I want to share with you the first panelist, a very, very charismatic friend, entrepreneur, well known in the industry. He has built his business from 2006 right up till now. He's into the content platform and is now headquartered in Malaysia, started in Malaysia in 33 countries. And he's got more than 1.1 billion subscribers on his platform. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Johary Mustapha, the charming man, as we all know him.
Good morning, Gopi. Thank you so much for the very lengthy introduction. I think, that was really nice of you to say those kind words. Really great to
You deserve it.
be meeting you under these circumstances.
Yes. So our next panelist is from the real estate business. It'll be interesting to have him on our event, because real estate is something that we've all seen during the MCO affected quite badly in some good ways and some bad ways. So Didian Realtor is the company, and we have Han Yang as the business development manager joining us on our panel. Please welcome Han Yang.
Thanks, Gopi. Thanks for having me. Great to be here. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for making time, and we're going to be dwelling into how you have pivoted your business model. And last but not least, we got to have someone from the social enterprise side, and we've got PichaEats, and we've got Kim Lim, the co-founder and CEO of PichaEats. Please welcome Kim Lim.
Hi, thank you, Gopi. Thank you for having me as well. Hope that I can share as much as I can.
Yes, because you're social enterprise, your business model is going to be a little bit different, but you're into the food business, I would think, and delicious, but yet feeding all the hungry people, and how you're going to have a sustainable business around this. So we'd love to hear from you and what you're doing. So without further ado, if I could just spend 1 minute with each one of you to just give a background, who you are, what does your business do, and very quickly. We'll start off with Joe.
Well, I'm Johary Mustapha. I founded the company about 14 years ago, so we grew out of KL. Our vertical is very niche. It's towards working with mobile operators. So we've done a good job here in Malaysia, and about, I think after 5 years, we started to branch out. So we started with Indonesia, and now we're in about 14 countries physically. We've grown to about 200 talents in these countries. And it's a very dynamic environment. We try and innovate, in the tech industry, it's very challenging. There's a lot of changes. There's 5G coming up. And so we work with these mobile operators to try and see how we can appeal to their mobile subscribers. And I guess we try and also give back and work with MDEC and see how we can contribute back to the industry.
Thank you for your continued support as always. Kim, we want to start with you. Want to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm the CEO and co-founder of PichaEats. We're actually a food business rebuilding lives of refugees in Malaysia. So we partner with refugees where they will cook from home, and then we deal with all the logistics and operations to deliver those food to customers. Before MCO, our customers were mainly corporates, and we do a lot of caterings. So that was our main business. And then now we've, of course, pivoted and tried to work out different things. So yeah, that's about PichaEats.
Sure, thanks. Ian, you want to talk about your company?
Yeah, sure. So actually, we started in 2018. We have co-founders who are experienced in real estate. One of our co-founders was the previous co-founder of JobStreet, and our CTO is from MoneyLion, one of the largest fintech companies in the US. So what we are is we're an online marketplace for primary residential properties from developers. We source for these projects to list on our platform, and our app then allows any agent to access those projects on our platform to sell.
Very good. I'm going to start with the first question with Kim. Kim, you are a social enterprise entrepreneur, and you deal with food, you deal with refugees. how did you cope with the MCO? What happened? What were your thoughts? What were you going through? Where were you? Were you shocked? How did you react the first couple of weeks and weeks after that?
I think before MCO happened, like few weeks before, caterings and events were actually gradually cancelled. So we kind of know something big is going to happen. But when MCO was announced, personally, I was very nervous because I've not done this before. We started our business in 2016, and we only had like 4 years of experience getting into business. And we started business right after we graduate. So literally zero experience in going through all these things. But I guess, well, we also like had quite a number of mentors and try and, put ourselves into read a lot and all these things. And so I guess those things really helped us to calm us down in the first 2 days of heading into MCO. So 70% of our main revenue was actually catering, and 60 to 70% of our customers were actually corporates. So we have lost 60% of our sales. Before, when MCO announced, the next day we got the team together and told them, this thing's going to happen, changes going to happen every single day. We're going to have to pivot as soon as we can, and probably in 2 weeks, or else we'll not be able to get sales for the chefs that we're partnering with, and we won't have revenue to pay for everyone as well. So the team got together, worked things out. We've come up with a few initiatives, and we've also activated a fund where people will put in money, and then we will enable refugees to cook, and then we will send them to frontliners and people who are in need within a marginalized community. So we've done around 24,000, 25,000 meals throughout the whole MCO. So that's how we try and pivot as soon as we can.
Very good. So when you pivoted, you were able to manage your cash flows once again?
We were actually cash flow positive since we started, so we were still okay. It means we have space to innovate, we have space to pivot. We don't have to go like emergency red alert.
How many months of cash flow reserves did you keep? I know it's a sensitive question, but I want other entrepreneurs to hear this.
We have minimum of a year.
Wow, that's very good. Very good, amazing. So you always plan for this sort of a event?
Yeah, I think we're very lucky. In December 2019, we actually told ourselves, we actually asked ourselves if we were to go zero revenue if we have like zero revenue, how long can we go? So every month we do this check on ourselves.
Amazing, very, very good. Hanyang, how did you react? You're in the real estate business, and you know that people are not going to be be in offices, they're not going to be buying homes. How did your company and you react?
Yeah, so, honestly, Gopi, kind of very similar to everybody here. The first few weeks was really tough for all of us. The news of the MCO came on, I think, a Sunday. And on a Tuesday or Wednesday, we all had to shut businesses, and, all the business practices had to grind to a halt almost immediately. So what we did was we came together as a team very quickly to find out how we can best replicate the experience of touring a showroom, but do it digitally, right? So our business is heavily reliant on clients going to the showroom. It relies on your senses, right? You want to see the place, you want to smell the place, you want to feel the furniture. How can we do that digitally on Zoom? It's very hard. So we tried to leverage on technology. So what we did was provide 3D renderings of the show units. You can access it within the app. We provided all the information about the projects within the app so agents can view it at home or online. Mm-hmm. They can use Zoom to educate the customers, to walk them through the showroom via Zoom now, because everything can be done, online and all that as well. So, but what we also realized was really important is agents are very resourceful people. They are strong at negotiating and marketing and closing sales in person, but they are not the most technologically savvy people. So what we needed was not just to provide the tools and the services to help them, but to educate them as well. So we built an agency relationship management team. What they did was they arranged appointments from day to night, educating these agents how to sell. So this turned out to be pretty good. We actually sold about 90 units over the MCO period, worth about 50 million ringgit. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That's amazing. That's very, very
Yep.
good, Anya. So, honey,
Yep, yep.
let me just say this. So, you during the MCO period where you had to work from home, you pivoted your model in terms of technology using all the online technologies, maybe even VR, AR, I'm not sure. And all this was being done from working from home. So, you managed your team from an offline to an online, and you developed these products,
Yes,
these new
yes.
features.
So
And then
correct.
the sales was also done online, and you had 50 million ringgit sales all from offline to online.
Yeah. So what we actually did was we migrated the entire price chart of all the projects onto our platform, so agents can actually book the units within the app itself. Because previously, if any of you have experience buying property, you go to a showroom, you see a printed board
Sure.
with some stickers on it. You want to buy a unit, you place a sticker on it. What we did was we digitized that entire board onto our platform. So you
So
book it
I would
online.
assume you went on to a portal sort of a thing. You had a portal running.
Yes, our app. Yeah, is all
All right.
internally built. Yep.
All right. Okay. Very good. Well done and congratulations. You're probably getting a big bonus from your shareholders.
We still have a long way to go for this year.
Yeah. Joe, you have been online for a long time. You've got your businesses online. I know Johary very well because he joined Gain's first Silicon Valley immersion with us to the US. He's built his business amazingly. So you've always been used to online. How did you react? I'm very curious to find out how you reacted, or did you see opportunities already the first day of MCO?
I have to be honest with you. We were all in denial. But we were lucky. We got to see it in January. I mean, the big decision that we had to see back then. I still remember we were in London and GSMA pulled the plug on Mobile World Congress in February, and we were all geared up for that. That was the pinnacle of the event for the telecommunication industry. And after that, we travel around Europe for work. We started to see a lot of these tabloids saying, "Hey, Corona is here, and it's still, when we're back in Malaysia, oh gosh, something's gonna happen, right?" And down the MCO came in. So we had only one day to prepare for the MCO, and we had a management meeting on that day itself, just before the MCO. A lot, we have close to about 200 talents, so you can imagine everyone's asking, "Hey, what's happening? How do we work? How are we going to get monitored?" So I think because we're from the tech industry and we have all these tools available, I think what's important was the communication. We had to pacify every one of our talents and tell them, how the SOP is going to work, how we're going to do the monitoring. So I think the priority was on how we handle our own people and how we actually tell them, "Hey, it's going to be okay. Do you have an internet connection?" So we went down to every single one of our talents. We even sent out a survey. We said, "You have to fill this in within 24 hours, where you stay, who you're staying with, and stuff like that." So I guess internally, that's how we prepared. And for business, I think it has gone rather well. I see a statement from the Australian government. They said the whole 5-year digital adoption has actually shrunk into 12 weeks. And so for us, because we're in tech, and this digital adoption has sort of absorbed into everyone's online all the time, and it sort of increases this communication that we have with our partners worldwide. So it was easy as compared to, say, a year ago. Today you say, "Hey, let's have a Zoom or an MS Teams call," and they say, "Sure, let's do that in a few hours time." That was almost impossible, say, late last year. So today I think that has helped us considerably in what we do.
So I think there's a saying, there's a new COVID-19 saying that COVID-19 is the new chief transformation officer for all of us. Because of COVID, we have transformed very, very quickly. 2025 is now seen in 2020. So I think, but what I've heard from all three of you is that when the MCO happened, you were all three internally focused quickly to get the house in order so that everything could be then orchestrated to handle your clients. So well done. Joe, I want to stick with you on my second point. Now that MCO is over and you've had the feel of 3 months working from home, seeing the dynamics, you're managing 33 countries from home. How do you see yourself coming back post MCO into the workforce again? You have pivoted a model. You have possibly restructured. You probably have new thoughts about how you want to operate. Are you going to have less officers, more people? What are your thoughts? What's your model going back into the marketplace?
That's a good question. Actually, this year we moved into a new office. Now, during the MCO, some of them were asking me, "Hey, does that mean that we're never going to go back to our nice office again?" And so it was a testing time. We sort of A/B test. When we started off easing down on the MCO, we have alternate weeks, we have groups, different sort of groups. We have people saying they're more productive at home. We have people saying they would like to go back to the office. But I guess what's important is how do our own talents react to this new way of work? Are they more productive? And of course, our people operations team, they had to work day and night to understand this new behavior, this new pattern. And I guess there's a trust level that suddenly starts to go up because, you're working remotely. You want to make sure the question of productivity is always there. And I think we're still adjusting to it. Every week, there's always a question like, hey, is this MCO going to go back to normal, right? I think that's a question. We've seen companies announcing that they'll be working from home till end of the year, some of them till August or September. So I guess now we're taking the cautious approach of just ensuring you're available any time of the day, anywhere you are. But then I guess the question today is how do you differentiate your personal space and your working space? Because your workspace is kind of implied now at your home, in your own chair, and that's one of the challenges that we face.
Sure. The lines seem to be blurred between your personal space and your workspace, including your weekends, right? So I think everyone's going through that. But just out of curiosity, Joe, have you found or your team found a new revenue stream because of this?
Yes, actually, we work with mobile operators, and to meet up with them, we got to schedule an appointment. Sometimes it takes a month, and there's probably a lot of noise where it's very hard to get an appointment with them. But during this MCO and lockdown has been enforced in many of the countries we operate in, they are more easy, they are more relaxed. Probably they're at home, so they feel, hey, let's discuss about this. So there was a lot of ideation, a lot of brainstorming happening, not just internally, but with our partners. And this has resulted in quite a lot of new projects coming in. So now, I think last month we decided, hey, are we going to cut down just like every other company? Or are we going to hire? We have about close to 30 talents that we're supposed to hire. And we had to make that important decision of, okay, let's hire aggressively. And so that's one of the decisions that was crucial for us to decide how to move forward.
Very good. Well done. Well done. Hanyan, how about you? Didian, what were your, during the MCO, you have pivoted your model, obviously, from an offline to an online. You've got an app running. Let's just dwell into that. Let's go deeper into it. What does this model do? How much of this model is going to change your business pre-MCO? And moving forward, how do you see new revenues? How do you see customer behavior changing? And how are you capitalizing on this customer behavior? And you're in a brick and mortar business, but using technology to do that. I want to hear from you how you're moving forward.
Yeah, so the company started in 2018. So we were trying to figure out how can the product achieve product market fit for the first year in 2019. And then 2020 was really ramping up our product listings. So getting developers to work with us, getting more projects to come on board, and etc. But the MCO has really halted the entire industry. So developers are now pulling back launches. They are slowing down in terms of marketing and all those things as well. However, what we also realize is, we can look at it like, okay, the property industry is going to be bad for certain things. However, a lot of people actually, for 2 months, they were stuck in a 500 square foot apartment with 2 kids and their parents, and there's not much space to move around. So then these people will be thinking, okay, hey, by the way, shall we sacrifice convenience for comfort? So instead of spending 600,000 on a nice apartment in the KL area, how about let's buy a nice landed home outside, right? For the same price. So actually, we are trying to figure out, okay, what is the market wants right now? And, with the recent government announcements like the home ownership campaign, the removal of the property gains tax, that has actually provided a good shot in the arm for the industry as a whole. And what we actually quickly did was we partnered with IJM Land last weekend to launch Malaysia's first ever virtual balloting session.
Wow.
Or via Facebook Live. Yep.
And,
so
and tell us a little bit how does that model work?
Yeah, so what they did was they launched 125 homes via in their Rimbayu township. This is terrace houses worth about 600 to 650,000 ringgit in near the Kota Kemuning area. So last time when you have a property launch, developer will host a big event, get all the buyers to come in, and they will do a balloting where they'll pick up a ball, say, okay, this is your number. Now the first person will get to pick their unit. But obviously now with MCO, we can't gather 200 people in the same room. Sure. So we did it via Facebook, where on a Saturday morning, we got someone to pick the balls via Facebook Live. All the customers tuned in, and when they got their number, they were assigned a time slot. So the following Saturday, what they did was they went to the gallery at that particular time slot, picked their unit, and then we managed to roll it from there.
Very good. So that's innovation. That's innovation, and it's amazing because you are innovating a brick and mortar industry by using technology, and the work from home and the online webinars and all that we have seen has possibly given you a new market that is away from the city center. Because people are now willing to buy a home away from the city center because it's so flexible to work these days. So
exactly, Gopi.
I think it is a model that a lot of very mature cities in the US or in Australia have used. So again, the suburbs opening up, and I think this whole MCO is going to do that to KL in terms of opening up suburbs. Because you get a better value for money. Well done. Very, very good. Kim, moving to you, social enterprise. Tell me, how are you coming back into the market aggressively, maybe with a vengeance, and you're going to, you've got a 12-month runway. Is that going to be 24 months? Is there going to be scaling up? Are you going to do other things? Please share with us all.
So during the MCO, I think our productivity level actually doubled more than before, because we have to pivot way faster than before. The team actually came out with different things. We've launched so many things during MCO. We've launched like DIY pizza. We launched like, I think the latest one we launched was ready to eat meals. So what does ready to eat meals look like is that meals that are half prepared by the refugee chefs and then half prepared by our internal chefs. Comes together, and then we will send to people by 3 packs, 6 packs, or 9 packs, and then you can chill in the fridge for 4 days or freezer for more than 4 days, and then when you want to eat them, you just put it into the microwave for 3 minutes, and then it's done. So that's what we see, because people are working from home more, and this was actually targeted for people who are really busy and then don't know how to cook, don't have time to eat or prepare food. So a lot of people were buying that for that reason. But then also we see people like mothers who needs to prepare food for their kids after school, or when they are working, single mothers or like mothers who are very busy. We also see like people from other countries buying it for their old folks at home. So this is one of the things that we're looking to scale, because we realize this social distancing might still be a problem, although Malaysians really like to go to restaurants now, but there are still many people who are working from home, and then there are still like a lot of companies. When we call each of them, I think most of them still are going to work from home until end of the year, or between September or October. So working from home means the companies will usually want to send all these meals to their employees as well, sometimes as appreciation meals, or staff lunch or something like that. So we've worked on that, and we're looking to do that in a subscription basis as well in the future. So when we look into subscription, means like if you subscribe like 3 meals a month with us, and then we'll send to you every maybe every month, first Monday of the month, and then you get them every month. So that's what we're trying to work, and every month will be different menu, so you're eating different things. So it's we want subscription model will help us to be long term, because before this, catering has been very ad hoc, events has been very ad hoc, and we've always been trying to find what can help us to bring in cash in more, you have like a base month to month instead of always starting from zero. So that's what we're trying to work on. So that's one thing that we're working on. We also created 2 enterprises throughout the whole MCO. One of it was a content creating company. So in less than 2 months, we've got our first 10 customers working with us. Also want to work on subscription basis on that, and hopefully to use technology to address certain mismatch expectations or transparency that has been going around in the content creating industry and agencies as well.
Looks like you and your company are better placed because of the MCO and COVID, because you have now come up with 2 different business models, 2 different businesses, and you have gone to a business model that's subscription as a service. So amazing. So do you see yourself with better revenue now than you were before the COVID?
I can't say so yet, because we're still building the products. We're still building, means that we're still getting inputs from people on how the product works and tweaking. So hopefully, I do see this as a very positive change than before, because this will help us to way better.
Very good, very good.
The catering model before.
Well done. So you move away. So I'm just curious, how is your supply? Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yep, no worries. Yep, no problem.
How's your supply chain work? You have got delivery guys, you've got order takers. How does the supply chain work?
So how it works is that when customer places their orders on our website, we would then have to we will have an internal system to already auto-inform the chefs, and then we would on the event day itself, or on the day of delivery, we manage our own fleet. So we will arrange all the logistics and then send to customers. It's quite straightforward system.
Right. Very good. I want to go back to Joe. Joe, you're a very established entrepreneur. You have pivoted your model many times. But of all times in our living era, like my dad, he lived through the World War II. Our living era, this is like a world war. We've all went into homes, hiding for 2 months, 3 months. We're coming out. Where do you see yourself, Joe, and Forest Interactive by December 2020? Where do you see yourself? Better off, worse off, more aggressive, different market, closed down, whatever it is? Where do you see it?
Well, thank you again, Gopi, for the kind words. Well, before the MCO, we were targeting to enter at least another 5 markets or countries this year. So today, we're still in a lockdown. I can't fly, and so we're wondering how do you do it? So we're doing interviews and remotely. That works, but then how do we start off the business? You still need to go down to banks and corporate companies and stuff like that. I guess during this MCO, especially on the hindsight, we got one of the most unique product development and software development teams, and so they work very differently, and so they were home. They've spent all these times. I think they're probably a bit more productive at home and managed to catch up on what the demand is. Suddenly, during this past 3 months, we have so much inquiries because a lot of the brick and mortar business, they've done digital. And they said, because we do digital distribution, right? They say, hey, how do I get my videos or anything visual out there stream, or like as an OTT service like Netflix or iFlix. You've got some of these guys who have other creative visuals. Say, hey, how can I package this into a data service, right? So we work with the operators, and these are some of the matches that we have to do. So going forward, I think there is a lot of supply coming in terms of creative content, a lot of ideas, especially from all these entrepreneurs, some of them from Gain, a lot of brainstorming on how do they stream this into the digital angle. And I guess on the demand side, I guess awareness has been fast-tracked into these 3 months. I guess it's only going to get better, I think, for us here in Forest.
Very good. For all those who do not know, so I have worked with Forest Interactive for 5 years now. Particularly very impressed. I worked with them in the Indonesian office, the Philippines office, been with them. I'm particularly very happy and also pleasantly surprised in the way the culture is created in Forest Interactive. Talk to us about the culture you've created, Joe, and what makes this stick, because especially, a team that works together will fight all these battles very well. Has that effort paid off?
Yes, it has. I think this is an important question, a good question, Gopi, that you have. So for us, going global means that we have to understand the culture of all these countries that we're going to go in. It doesn't work anymore where you go to trade shows, exchange name cards, have some partnership MOUs and stuff like that. It just hasn't worked. And so we pivoted. We hired people from those countries that we want to go into, and we brought them here to Malaysia, right? Understand more about how they are as a person. And with that, say when we deal with people in Indonesia, they always prefer when they have a fellow Indonesian here in Malaysia. And so that improves the communication, the cultural divide that we have. Today, we have about 27 to 28 nationalities in our organization. And that's kind of, in Malaysia, probably we term that as Roja, but it's such a diverse exchange of ideas and cultures. And this is happening in our office. And so that helps them perceive, how to make good judgment, work-life balance, instead of these noise or chatter that we constantly have. So now people are talking about culture and how do your product fits in those culture. And so as we go abroad, we have to make sure that we add all these nationalities in. So I think that has worked very well with us. I think the respect level of people in our organization is very high. And I think they're really exposed. Before we had talents like, say, from Pakistan, they're here, they're very good developers, and they say, hey, in our country, we're not allowed to do this. And I said, here you can go crazy and you can express your ideas. So before, they were in a situation where they have a lot of ideas, they can't be expressive. But we create an environment where people start questioning us, saying, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? So we have a lot of ideas internally, and then we match that with what we have externally, and it's been good.
So you've created a diverse culture, because a diverse culture will bring the best talent in, and the best talent will bring in a lot of good innovation, and everyone's free to express themselves. Well done, Joe. I think that's probably your secret recipe to see a Forest Interactive thriving like this. How is the work culture in your office? What kind of people are there? What's the work culture? And how has that work culture helped you go through this MCO period? And what you're going to face post MCO?
Yeah, so we are a very lean team. We have about 20 people in the organization right now. 3 of them are in the technology division. A couple of them are helping with the sales, administrative work. Some in the marketing department. All of them are Malaysians because we haven't gone overseas yet. But we realized that the really important thing during this MCO period is, as though we're not seeing each other, it is very important to be transparent to everybody, because that's how you go through it. If every department, everyone works in silos, it becomes very demoralizing, when you aren't sure, you aren't aligned with what the vision of the company is. We find that we have seen a lot of, we've learned a lot of companies that aren't able to communicate the vision and the mission, and to tell the employees that, hey, by the way, the company is going through a tough time right now, but we want to assure you that you are not in this alone. We will all work to make sure that we can go through it together. So we realized that that was very important, and that really helped to boost the morale of the employees. Yeah, and we realized that everyone here has come back to work very willingly. They all like to be in the office. They like to see each other, and that seems to be a good thing for us.
You know what they said, right? Before MCO, we needed to give reasons why you want to work from home. But today, we need to give reasons why you need to work from the office.
Exactly.
So, things have changed.